Hi there, my name is Brenda Olam. I recently started a series called My Experience where I talk about things I've gone through, things that have been done to me. So, today I want us to talk about giving birth at Kenyatta Hospital. Now, Kenyatta Hospital is known as the National Hospital of Kenya. It is one of the biggest hospitals, one of the biggest and best hospitals in Africa. So, I had my daughter in 2020 at Kenyatta Hospital, and I'd like to share my experience. Um, Giving birth at Kenyatta Hospital wasn't in one of my original plans. I went into labor at 33 weeks, so I had to be referred to Kenyatta Hospital because the hospital I wanted to give birth at did not have a NICU. So this is the admission process that I went through. First, I went to the hospital. I had to get to the hospital, and at the hospital, instead of going to the accident and emergency section, you are referred straight to the labor ward. So, future Brenda here, for some reason, I kept saying admission letter instead of referral letter. So, for every time I say admission letter, just know it's a referral letter, a referral form. Now, when you get to the labor ward, if you have an admission letter, you show them the admission letter. Or if you think you're in labor, you let them know, then they'll do a checkup. If you're worth admitting, or if they think your case is something they need to admit you for, they will admit you. And if it's a case that they feel it's something you can wait on a bit more, you'll be sent back home and you'll be given further instructions. Now, for me, I had an admission letter. So they read my admission letter, they checked me, then they requested I pay 1,200 shillings for admission. So if you can't go with someone else to help you with moving around, so I had my friend with me. She went and paid 1,200 shillings for the admission. When she came back after paying, I had to fill in. There's a form that was filled in. I had to hand over my mother and child book. It's a maternity book. This is the book they give you when you're pregnant. It's where they record every single checkup you have and every single time you fall sick. So you have to hand over that book so that they can see your history. Then once you've filled in that form, you've given them your mother and child handbook, they will assign you a bed and a nurse. Now, the nurse would be working on her own. There are students who will come in occasionally and assist with the checkups, and also the gynecologist will come in once in a while to check you as well. Now, there is a chance that you might share your bed with someone else because at times patients come in a number more than the facilities that are there. So if you find yourself sharing a bed, don't mind it. If you're in labor, you won't even get to use that bed up until you're giving birth. Now, here is a list of things that they request you to carry. So first of all, you'll be asked to carry a basin for yourself to bathe with. They have water readily available there, so you'll have to carry your own basin. Carry your own soap as well, and if you use a sponge to shower, you can carry your sponge as well. Carry some petroleum jelly for yourself and for the baby as well. Oil or petroleum jelly or whatever it is you use for your skincare, you can carry it for yourself. For mom, you need to carry a change of clothes for yourself, some maternity pads, and some innerwear. Also, you'll be required to carry a cup and plate. Meals are provided, but you have to carry your own utensils and dishes. You can carry a dish or a plate, whatever it is, but make sure you have a cup and a plate. Also, you'll have to carry a change of clothes for baby. If you can't carry 2 or 3 sets of change of clothes, if they're not enough, you can have someone from home bring in some more. You'll need the baby's diapers and wipes to go along with that. You'll need to carry a baby blanket or a shawl for the baby. You'll need a lasso for yourself and a towel as well if you need one. Now, when it comes to the meals, the hospital provides meals, but they are not meals that are pleasant. A lot of times it will be just beans and ugali, and once in a while, if you're lucky, while you're there, they give out sausages. There's a time they bring in uji, they bring tea as well with bread. So if those are meals you can handle, you can, but you're also allowed, your family is also allowed to bring in food for you. If you feel like what the hospital is providing is not something you can deal with, you can always request and have meals brought in from home, which they also allow as well. Also, when it comes to the facilities, I've already mentioned there's a high chance you'll share the bed in the labor ward, which is totally fine. I've already said you'll be in labor, you'll barely get to use it up until you're giving birth. But once you've given birth, you will be taken from the labor ward to, I think it's the maternity wing, where after you've given birth, you're taken to recover. Over there, you'll be assigned a bed of your own. You won't have to share a bed with anyone else. It will be your own bed, where the nurse over there. It's really nice. It's very spacious. It's not as cramped as the labor ward. They have every facility that is available to them for the checkups. If you want to have a C-section birth, they have theaters that are already set there that are very clean and very nice. And when I was there, I noticed the nurses were very friendly and helpful. Or at least the ones I was assigned to, they were friendly and helpful, and they advised you accordingly. Let's talk about the rumors that are usually stated there. There is a rumor that is going around that in Kenyatta, there's a chance you'll have your child on the floor. Now, here is the thing about childbirth. When the time comes and you're now supposed to, the baby wants to come out, you're now in labor and the baby wants to come out, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. If it's coming, it's coming. If it finds you on the floor, you'll just lie down there and give birth on the floor. Also, if the baby has already started coming out, the nurses usually advise you not to walk because you might strangle the child. That's what we were told. So if it comes along and you're far away from your bed and it comes and finds you on the floor, the child will just come there and they'll assist you wherever it is that you are. If you can reach the bed, it's good. If wherever it is, they'll assist you. It's not that they let you give birth on the floor intentionally. The beds are available, the beds are enough. And if it comes, it comes. There's nothing they can do to stop it. There's nothing they can do to move you to another place. If it's coming, it's coming. And they will assist you accordingly. Now, another rumor that is there that so many people tell me whenever I tell them I've given birth in Kenyatta is that uh, people line up to go and give birth, that you can even give birth on the line. So the truth is, there is no specific, like specified room where women go to give birth. The whole point of assigning you beds is for you to have a place to give birth on. There is no specific room that you all go there when you feel you're close to giving birth, that you go and give birth. No. Even with C-sections, there is no line because they have more than one theater. So, based off of the emergency of your labor, if you're a C-section mother, based off of how urgent your situation is how they take you to the theater. So if yours is very urgent, you go to the theater before someone who came in, like let's say the day before, and they're waiting for the C-section. If yours is very urgent, you'll go before them, and they can go when all the urgent cases have been taken care of. In regards to vaginal birth, there is no thing of you have to stand in a line to go to a specific room to give birth. The whole point of giving you a room and a bed is so that you can utilize that bed. So this whole story of you line up to give birth is not really there. Now, also there is this rumor of children get exchanged. When I was there, I don't think any of us experienced, the women I was with, none of us experienced that. Uh, However, after giving birth, your child will be taken away for cleaning. They'll clean the child, they'll weigh the child, then they'll bring back your child for you to dress. But once the child is born, they usually put a label on the child. This it's like a bangle with your name on it. So they put that on your child so that in case of anything, that's what they'll use to find your child. Visiting hours, they usually have two slots for visiting, one at midday and one I think at 4 o'clock. I don't remember. But you're allowed to have visitors in. I don't know, since COVID, maybe the rules have changed. Maybe they limit the number of people that come in. But for me, I saw we were allowed to have visitors as many as they were. I don't think it was restricted, but right now probably it's restricted because of COVID. Now, when it comes to the bills, their charges are usually quite fair. I had a C-section birth, so I paid 68,000 shillings. I was there for, I was in labor for 3 days, so I was there for 3 days, and I spent an extra 3 days in recovery. So I was charged 68,000 shillings. I remember another lady who was there and had a C-section birth as well. Her bill was less than mine. So I think the charges are based off of what you might need, what the baby might need as well. But for normal delivery, a lady that gave birth normally and paid cash said she didn't pay more than 13,000. It was under 13,000, which is quite expensive for a government hospital, but compared to everywhere else that you would have given birth, I think that one is somewhat fair. Yeah, I know there are places you can get cheaper care, so if you can, I'd recommend you go to those places. Still on the topic of bills, if you have an NHIF card, you're given the option of paying 3 months ahead. Then whatever service you get at the hospital will be deducted from your NHIF, meaning you won't have to pay anything other than the admission fee during the process of being discharged. So your care is free. Another option is if you're Kenyan and you have a Kenyan ID, you can get a Linda Mama card. It is temporary. It is like temporary NHIF that's given to you that lasts, I think, up to 2 months after you've given birth. So if you can go to any public hospital, government hospital, county level public hospital, and you can request for a Linda Mama card. They'll give you a Linda Mama card, they'll put you in the system, and if you go to Kenyatta Hospital to have your child, it will be free of charge. Alternatively, if you feel you cannot do all that, there are other hospitals that you can give birth at free of charge. I know of Westlands Health Center. The labor maternity ward is open 24/7, and you can go there at any time of the day or night, and there'll be someone there to assist you. Also, their services are totally free. You won't pay for anything. So I think other government health centers as well have that service. So you can always inquire about that service and you'll get assistance accordingly. Now, the process of discharge is usually quite long. If you're on your own, I don't think there's anything you can do for yourself unless you can get a nurse to assist you get discharged, because the line at the billing area will be quite long. So if you can't get someone else to do the discharge process for you, the person will have to come in, pass by the nurse's station, then they'll be given a few papers to go with. They'll go to the billing, where they'll be told about everything that is needed, what you're supposed to pay, or whatever means it is you're paying, if you're paying for with insurance or cash. Once it's cleared, you can come back to the nurse's station. You'll be given a discharge form, which you can use to go out with. So if you don't have that discharge form, you can't get out. You'll be in the hospital for a while. Now, if you're unable to pay your bill, of course, they'll do what every other hospital does. You'll have to stay in hospital until you clear your bill, in which the more you stay in the hospital, they charge you for every single day you're there, because they're feeding you, so they'll have to charge you for the feeding, and if you're on a bed, they'll charge you for the bed. So I think the best way to go is, if you can get an NHIF card, get the NHIF card and pay 3 months in advance, then your service will be free. Or get a Linda Mama card, also your service will be free. From a personal point of view, if I was to advise anyone on going to Kenyatta Hospital, if you're on a budget, or you don't feel like you can afford better means, or a better hospital, or a hospital with much better or expensive facilities, Kenyatta Hospital is a place to go. It's quite affordable. They have the facilities they need. The nurses are there to attend to. They have enough nurses to attend to you. The doctor also comes in to attend to you, so you won't have to get a gynecologist of your own. They have a gynecologist already there, who will come in to around once or twice a day to check on you. If there is any problem beyond what you're going through, I think the gynecologist can advise accordingly. Okay, one other thing I forgot to mention is that at Kenyatta, you cannot have an elective C-section. Because I remember when I was in labor, on the second day I was exhausted and I asked to have an elective C-section. But I was told they don't do that because they deal with so many emergency cases. So you might request for an elective C-section and you might have to wait for 3 or 4 days before you're assisted. So if you can and you'd like to have an elective C-section, get a letter from a gynecologist stating why the C-section is supposed to be done. Then if you go with that letter to the hospital, to Kenyatta, maybe they might do the C-section for you. But in most cases, if your case is not an emergency case, or you previously haven't had a C-section, then I don't think they will agree to for you to have that C-section. So if you'd like to have a C-section, get a letter from the gynecologist stating why the C-section should be done on you, then you might have your C-section. But if you're just there for an elective C-section, the chances of getting it are very slim. One thing I want to add on that I think is probably unnecessary, but I have to tell you, if you're going to Kenyatta Hospital, be ready for bed bugs. I remember I came back home with bed bugs. So if you go there, be ready for them. And if you get back home before you get anything into the house, just fumigate everything that you went with to hospital, the clothes, the baby's clothes, everything, the bag, just fumigate it, because you never know. I came back with bed bugs that were not in the house, and I noticed it wasn't anywhere else in the house, but rather the bed I slept on and the things I came back home with. Those were the only thing with bed bugs. And I met another lady that I was with, and she said she experienced the same problem. So if you can, have a pesticide or insecticide on standby for when you get back home. You just spray everything to get rid of it. And another thing with Kenyatta Hospital, you need to be careful with your belongings. If you have a phone, keep it on you at all times. Carry a small bag that you can wear around your neck, or a small cross bag that you can wear with you. Put your phone, your charger in, your ID. Have your very important things close to you. Don't let them go, because there's a chance that your things might be stolen. Another thing I'd advise on packing your things, find one big bag that can fit everything instead of carrying multiple bags. One big bag that can fit everything and just put everything in. Something with a zip that you can close and keep safe. Keep your belongings close to you at all times. Or if you do make a friend in there, always look out for each other, because there's a very high chance your things can be stolen. That's it from me. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified for every single time I upload. And thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.